Well, hey there, guys and gals. SeKo Starcraft bringing you something a little different. This is a... Oh, come back here, mouse. This is a 2v2 game that me and my good friend IllmadicW, William Griffiths, played quite recently. Rather than just, obviously, me versus him a lot, we do like to go out there and play a little 2v2 action. It's me and him down here. I'm playing Zerg, and he's playing Terran. That's his race, his go-to race. Against, what do we have up with this guy? Samosan, the protoss, and Mr. Cool as the Terran in the red team. Now, me and Will actually have never played on this map before, but it seems pretty self-explanatory. The only things I didn't realize is the subtleties in the design of this and the back doors. But regardless, this game, because you're not playing up against a Zerg player in a 2v2, that's a really funky spot for a supply depot. Where William's in bronze, I think he just got into Silver League, so we're at a little bit of a different level, me and him, but this makes it really fun. We're on Skype while we're doing this. And if you're, just a little tip, if you're going 2v2, go for a really early scout, and if you're going up against a Zerg player, prepare for them to go for some sort of early pressure. I've done that in a lot of the games we play 2v2 together, go for a 9 pool or something just to get an early damage. Am I going for a scout just yet? Yes. I told William to hunt down this probe when he saw it, just to make sure that I wasn't going to get cannon rushed really early on. I did scout that there's a forge really fast. It's very easy for a Protoss player to just cannon rush you for the shits and or giggles of it. For me, I'm not going to go for some sort of 9 or 12 pool. I'm actually going to play a more macro-focused game. William's still chasing around that probe, which is nice. Ooh, we might actually get it here. This is exciting. Go, SEV. Blammo! I actually didn't realize we killed that at the time. So because I'm going to go super macro on this, I don't really know what we're going up against. I did see the forge into the gateway, but I didn't see anything too out of the ordinary from both of our players over here, and I didn't think they were at super elite caliber based on the kind of positioning they have for their buildings here. Once again, we're, you know, Williams in Silver League and I'm in Platinum, so it's not like we're expecting to go up against Masters. This was still our qualification matches for this game. I told William to prepare for some sort of attacks because I was going to be going super macro into very low tech focused kind of play. By low tech I mean really sitting on just hatch tech, not moving up into lair for a little bit here. I'm going to go sneaky sneak with an expansion as well, just so that way I can try to get up the biggest possible economy and just overwhelm our opponents. We do have Azulut coming across the field. William happily put a Marine on this watchtower, which I don't think even sees this. Oh, I did see that. So we should have known it was coming. Regardless, my other hatch is finished and I'm still just droning up heavily. This hatch is just finishing up. I have queens on the way. And the zealot's going to come in. William is not top-notch with his micro just yet, so obviously he gets all of his marines killed to shit. 2 marines and a zealot. Nice little start pressure. We've got 4 links coming out and a queen. When I see this, I'm pretty much just telling William to not panic. Rally stuff back into your base, not to their death. Which I think he's continuing to... Nope, there he goes. He rallies closer to his base, and I'll be there in 2 seconds. Just don't panic. Once I have my lings out, it should be alright. First lings pop. Got myself 6 there. Once again, he's not getting any economic damage at this point. Now he pulls off his units to attack. This is when my lings are going to come in to put on a little bit of help as well. So he gets a little bit of damage in, but it's not too big of a deal, right? We'll clean this up. Speed's on the way, 12 more lings. I do like this early pressure from both of these guys. At a really kind of low level, it's easy to get a lot of damage. I waited for more lings to come up before I attack these zealots, so they'll cut through my guys really fast. Now it looks like I've got enough there to be able to take them out. So we're okay. This guy's going for some really funny front of the wall Instead of going for, you know, an oracle or something that would actually kill a ton of shit, he's going for a pylon and cannon contain. I thought it was hilarious. These guys aren't even interested in expanding at this point. If we look at the units tab, I've got a pretty good lead on workers. William's still struggling to keep up. These guys are both doing actually pretty decent for this pace. I told Will not to panic. We've got enough units at the front here to not really worry. Speed's going to be done soon. More overlords because I think I'm fairly supply blocked at this moment. Yes, I am. Trying to just produce workers out of this hatch. And keep up on my tech, keep up on my injects. So, speed's about to finish up. Good pile of lings. Once again, in a map like this, if you got a contain, you should be doing something with this contain, like putting on pressure or expanding behind this, but because neither of them are doing that, they're actually giving us a good opportunity to benefit a lot from what we're doing. Williams even go for an expansion now. Speed is finished. I'm telling Will to not worry about this ramp. We've got to let them get up the ramp for my lings to surround them, rather than try to fight on the low ground. Some lings get a little ahead of themselves, but we do get to see what's out there, so I told Will to back up away from the ramp, let them come up, and then we can engage them on favorable ground. Once he's up here, it's easy to surround and kill all that off. Shoot the zealot. See, these guys don't want to run into this. I'm producing a mass pile of lings, once again sticking with low tech. I'm not even taking much for gas right now. I think I've just got one gas. Probably could get out my Evo chambers here sooner. Now that he has a tank up, I'm really not worried about these guys breaching us. They got some units out here, but with my lings, and I was hoping there's a way around behind these bases, but I think there's actually some rocks or something in the way that stops that from happening. So yeah, I noticed that I can't run around behind the bases. William, take your expansion, William. See, the tank's driving back those units. Good control out of Will there to not let his marines get sucked in. I think I have an opportunity right now. I've got lots and lots of lings. I would consider that to be lots and lots. So I'm just going to go and try to run past. Once again, I don't know this map very well, but I'm just going to run right past all of his stuff. Produce more lings behind this to defend in case they'd go for a retaliation. But this is enough lings to get a lot of damage in. What I'm actually going to run for right now is the economy line. I know where this command center is, so I'm going to go for economic damage, which is more important at this stage than try to kill a few units. Kill off pretty much all the SCVs there. He came back with his army, which means that the pressure is off our front. William is getting his command center down. I do see the probes run away. I was going to try to focus down the... Oh, his army's a little delayed there. I did manage to kill off. I have a nice pick to grab that. But I'm actually going to go straight for this Nexus. I killed off all the workers pretty much from the Terran player. And now if I kill off the Nexus and the Protoss, they're both going to be pretty apt when it comes to economy. Down goes the Nexus. I actually get away a few lings to scout for any expansions. And I'm going to see that this one's down here. Get a little more damage in. That turned out really well. Resources. So I've got a pretty good lead over everybody right now when it comes to play, but that was fairly to be expected. Now they both really got to try to actually recover in SCV. So if we look at worker counts, 27 for the Protoss, but he's got to wait for his Nexus to be remade. 10 SCVs for the Terran, 55 workers for me, and I actually went to go kill off the front while I knew their armies were back at home. And 18 humble workers for William, because William doesn't like making workers very much. Front gets cleaned up pretty well. Protoss army comes in, so I'm just going to retreat. William's into pretty good position over here with his siege tanks. And I told him to try to push forward a little bit, take better position. Pretty good saturation to this base. Starting to take my gases. This base is doing alright. Needs a few more down here. Taking those gases as well. And this base is doing okay. And I'm moving up into Spire. So they do have siege tanks down here now, which is making this campaign a little bit more effective. Economy-wise, if we look at income, pretty big disparity in the income. I'm making more money than this whole team, than everybody else combined at this moment. But that's just because I focused so heavy on getting up a sick economy to start. So I know that we're getting camped up out front, so I'm not going to just make a ton of 0-0 lings to try to attack into it. Or am I? Am I really? I don't think I want to. Yeah, I see the siege tank shots and I pull back. Oh, blammo, Mr. Stalker. Nice little army moving around from the Terran player. It's good to be able to check for expansions. This thing is up and doing perfectly fine, which is great for me. Another big pile of workers I'm making right now. And now I'm going to make some static defenses because I've got a huge bank, so I might as well. The one thing I am lacking in a little bit right now is gas in order to make a giant pile of any type of unit. Looks like this is going to be pretty good timing for my crawlers, but happily this Terran player just doesn't even notice that there's a big pile of creep sitting right there. It looks like the Terran player managed to get up some semblance of an economy. Still hasn't made an orbital on his other base. These guys are pretty strapped for cash right now. Well, 1,200, 500. This is when I was actually going to move out to make another hatchery. And then I noticed that there's actually destructible rocks back here. Good siege tank line. These don't have any upgrades. Doesn't look like anybody in this game is focusing on upgrades. I've gotten mine down finally, and I should consider doing that. But I'm going to move into big time swarm hosts. Looks like Williams actually, did he get a few SCVs up? He's up to 34. What am I at again? Quite a bit. This bio unit is still 0-0. It's going to move up into here and attack William. While this is happening, William is obviously panicking big time. But I know that this is happening and I've got a faster army to deal with this. Oh, looks like he's going to go for the gold base as well. It's cute. Try to focus down some of the units here, but I'll clean this up with all my lings. I do finally have 1-1 on the way. I'm going to go for +1 range for my swarm host. Got out a nice big pile of them right now. Still got lots of money. My supply cap is maxed because I got the money to be able to do that. Now I noticed that this was the way into the base, so I'm going to go for another run by. What do we got going out up here? Yeah, I'm going to wait for a big pile of swarm hosts to finish before I go for an attack. Scout the bottom here to see if there is any expansions. Now I'm just going to run into the front. Looks like I'm going to go for just attacking the buildings for right now. Slug is going to get pretty good damage done. I was going to just attack everything. Now I'm just going to run in for the economy again. Looks, I did really good damage last time, so I'm just going to do it once again. Hold position on the lings in there. Kill as many workers as possible. He's got one marauder for defense, but all their army is now coming back to try to deal with this. Smart move to pull away all the workers. I didn't realize they all moved away, otherwise I probably would have killed them all. But I will manage to get this to essentially burn down, I think. I'll keep that selected to see if I can burn it down. Now I'm just going to go for building damage at this point. Still making tons and tons of swarm hosts. 1-1 will be done soon. It's just the tanks here at the front. Probably could have just ran that down with lings as well. This command center is lifted. This guy looks like it will burn down finally. Does have the zealots out. Yeah, the command center burned down. The zealots have any upgrades? He got +1. My zerglings do have. Do they have anything for upgrades? Well, no, they don't. So they're getting two-shotted by these zealots, so they're not lasting very long. Did take the gold base, though. Terran player is pretty pooched for economy. If we look at his units, he's down to 13 SCVs. They're still over here hiding, though. Big pile of swarm hosts now. Should be able to deal with just about anything that comes at me. Smartly, the Terran player at least is going to back up, I think. No, he's going to siege up and lose all the shit. That's also a smart move. You need a lot more siege tanks than that to deal with these swarm hosts. The funny thing about these swarm hosts, they're pushing all of Will's army into the fire. It's kind of silly. I still have like 2 lings in here killing everything in his base. So yeah. Down goes that siege line. William's pushing out. Well, look at the supply now. I actually have been producing more workers. I spent a lot of money building static defenses. Just because I don't really need a ton of workers with my huge bank. I've been asking Will to send me all of his gas this whole time. I'm finally getting his workers back into place. I'm actually pretty surprised at this point that these guys haven't left the game. I mean, they really don't have... This guy's got 19 supply and no supply depots because I killed them all. This guy's actually got, was that 84 supply? That's not bad. I'm telling Will to scan ahead of my army to make sure my swarm hosts don't run to their death. More upgrades on the way, moving up to hive tech. Got another base getting saturated. Everything's hunky-dory. I'll speed it up a little bit here because essentially this is just the death throes of a 2v2 game. He is trying to move into Colossus tech, which at least he's doing that. Oh, he's got the Dark Templars in here now, and I hear that. So I'm telling Will the next time these things are moving out that he needs to scan into my army. And I'm pushing his tank along with my army, which is really cute. Units do not stand up well against Locusts. Locusts just kill shit. Looks like the DTs are trying to run by. Will misses his scan, so I told Will to scan his army quickly. Scan your army. There you go. And that's why it's really important to have all of your orbitals on a hotkey, so you can scan really fast when that happens. Still more DTs coming in. But as I had mentioned, at this point, this game's pretty much on its way out. I'm building a giant pile of Butalisks now just to scout the map. These guys should probably be running further. Or just dying. That's also a plan. He is running around to try to put on some pressure on my expansions that he knows are here. I do have a Spore Crawler, which he does not target down. I mean, they do great damage to Spine Crawlers, but I got enough there to deal with it. My Locusts are not behaving really well right now. I told Will to start throwing down missile turrets at the front. That way we can't lose. I have a massive flock of mutas running around to check for expansion. That thing died in a heartbeat. See what? Did he go for another attack? Sure, the first one didn't work, but it really must have weakened him. So I'm actually building some more Spine Crawlers just to deal with this. Oh, they're just hanging out. That's cool too. Yeah. So I'll just shoot this stuff down. Yeah. It's a lot of SCVs on 2 mineral patches. Speeding it up a bit more again. Because I just wanted this game to end at this point. He does finally have a Colossus out. 14 kills. He is instructing things and people. But at this point, if you've never played against Swarm Hosts, they just kill you unless you have the right kind of units to kill them. Mutas are still killing everything. I was telling Will at this point to go for battle cruisers essentially because they're just not leaving and they should be leaving. I have no idea why they're not. Ghosts or battle cruisers are something kind of fun. But when you're playing low league kind of games, people don't really leave. Colossus, the Master Colossus goes down. William tried to run in with some units. William's not paying attention to his army, but that's cool too. Oh, there they go. Good scans. My mutas are killing everything. Like, everything here is dead. I'm not too sure at what point they thought that these DTs were just gonna change everything. I'm up to 3-3 just about now. Ugh. Speed it up even more. Like I said, this is just how low league kind of players play out their games. It's just, there is no end. Never give up, never surrender. Got a probe and a pylon. No end in sight. Well, I can only speed it up so fast, and then eventually my computer will just blow up. Oh, he's got the gold base. That's why he thinks he still matters in this game. And I'm not a jerk enough to be like, get out during any games. I've considered that before, like, oh, by the way, you lost, in case you didn't know. But I'm not really that kind of player. Still building the immortals, you just never know. Everything is just dying. I've lost more locusts to them just phasing out than anything else. Boom, boom. I'm even getting upgrades I don't need. I'm going up to +3 muta attack at this point. Whose Banshees? Is this the red team's Banshees? They are the red team's Banshees. That was his plan? Got Banshees in here. Well, one of the guys GG's out. I think there was the protoss that GG's out. No, the terran, they had 3 Banshees. You just don't know what happens with 3 Banshees. You can just win everything. So this is Will's mega army of maxed outness, killing everything too, because he wanted a piece of the action. And the guy leaves. So yeah, first 2v2 game, very low league, but super fun nonetheless. Part of a long game. We'll see if I upload this or not. But regardless, we'll talk to you guys later.